Just another day in paradise by the pool, the most unique venue in Major League Baseball, and we're out here as the Dodgers go head-to-head with the Arizona Diamondbacks. All the action is on Fox Sports Arizona. Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. He's Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and as we said, the most unique venue, the most greatest place to sit and watch a ball game in all of Major League Baseball. Nowhere like it. This is the pool. This is a great spot to be calling a game tonight, isn't it?
I have to think we are the envy of just about every baseball broadcaster.
Well, you know what else is the envy right now? The way the Dodgers are starting to find themselves a little bit offensively. Look, early on in the season for the first month, it was the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks. Right there separating from everyone else. The Diamondbacks have come back down to earth a bit. The Dodgers proved last night why they are to be respected offensively all year.
And they are not led by Manny Ramirez. He has been on the disabled list. He's just off. But one Andre Ethier, he has been the guy, along with James Loney, to carry the Dodgers what they hope to be up the ladder as far as the Western Division is concerned. They took a big step at getting out of the cellar last night, but they're starting to click on all cylinders, and that can be scary, Darren.
And as you mentioned, it goes up and down the lineup for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They do so without Rafael Furcal, but Jamie Carroll hitting about 300 in the 2 weeks of games in place of Rafael Furcal. Here's the good news for the Arizona Diamondbacks, losers of 4 consecutive games. Dan Haren is on the mound. Clearly, the ace of this Diamondback staff, coming off a complete game against Houston. He stuck it to the Astros, pitched very well at Dodger Stadium earlier this year.
Yeah, he pitched very well at Dodger Stadium. He left really what looked like a victory well in hand. He did not get the win in that because the bullpen came up short for him. However, the Diamondbacks did end up winning that ball game, and it's getting back to that situation there when every time number 15 takes the baseball, you feel like you're going to win no matter who you're playing.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
By the way, by the end of the night, this man is going in the pool, ladies and gentlemen. It won't be me. I've served my time last year. It's the Diamondbacks. It's the Dodgers. A great rivalry renewed here in the desert. It's time, by the way, take control of your home turf. This is the Diamondbacks' house. Defend it. Do so tonight because the folks from Southern California are just stomping around like they owned the place last night. River Casinos, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. By SRP. SRP will plant 1,000 trees for every Diamondbacks win this May. Visit srp.net/trees. And by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on.
Welcome you back to Chase Field. As you took a look at the pool there, it is our pool show, but let's take a look at the NL West standings tonight. And you see the Diamondbacks just a game and a half back of the Dodgers, and that could change over the next couple of nights. Diamondbacks and Dodgers getting set for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Jody Jackson on the field, and the big question is, will we see the offense that came back from that 11-game road trip scoring the most runs in the National League, or will we see the offense that has really struggled over the last 4 games, a 4-game losing streak? Well, last night against Chad Billingsley, no question he had that curveball going, and the hitters struggled. 12 strikeouts last night, the 10th game of the season with 10 strikeouts or more. In this 4-game losing streak, 41 strikeouts since Friday night against the Brewers. And A.J. Hinch said, honestly, we do have a lot of guys that strike out, and when they're striking out at the same time, it is a major problem. So he's looking for a better approach at the plate from his hitters, and hopefully that happens tonight. We're looking for a big night at the pool. Bob Brenly and Tom Brenneman did it. Jim Traber with a big cannonball. Greg Swindell. Even Mark McClune, who got pushed, but Darren Sutton was next. That was last season. Who will go in this season? It's all coming up next.
These Los Angeles Dodgers soon-to-be Hall of Fame skipper in his 3rd season. Let's take a look at the lineup that Dan Haren will face. Russell Martin, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier. KFC brings it to you. It's Ramirez, Loney, Blake, Belliard, and Carroll. John Eli is on the mound. All eyes on Andre Ethier. 29-year-old Daniel John Haren is on the mound. He is ready to face Russell Martin. Martin with a tough history against Danny, and the first pitch of this ball game as we are underway is a cut fastball that misses outside. 1-0 the count to Russell. 255 on the year, and a straight fastball grabs the outside corner. The numbers on Danny, delivered by our good friends with the UPS store. He was great in Houston. Complete game last time out.
Yeah, he was great, and he needed to be great. I have a feeling he's going to have to be great again here tonight.
LaRoche gives it a look. Stuck with the fastball away so far. Everything away from Russell Martin, who is 3 for 26 in his career against Dan Haren.
My goodness. That is serious ownership right there. So Dan certainly knows his way around Russell Martin. I would imagine he's going to stay away. Try to make him hit it out here to us.
The 1-2. That looked like a split-fingered fastball diving down and in.
Sure did. 86 miles an hour. That's a pretty quick one for Dan, but certainly had the action of one.
He's going to throw him another one, go back-to-back. We know how stubborn he is, and that one is fouled off. Glad to have you with us this evening. Haren seeks his 5th win of the year. The Diamondbacks trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. That one is low. Diving in there. And so the count runs full 3-2 to Russell Martin, who sees himself at the top of the order for Joe Torre.
And if you're Dan Haren, you're just hating this right now. A guy putting a really tough at-bat on you right out of the gate.
Rips that one foul, and down the line it goes. And so Danny rolls along for Haren. With regard to his time against the Dodgers, it's been very good of late. In his 11 starts in his career, he's 4-4 with a 3.52. His last 5 starts, his ERA is 2.3 against LA. Got him, cut fastball away.
You're exactly right, Darren. He went right with the cut fastball to once again dispose of Russell Martin.
Center fielder number 27.
Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by our good friends with Jaguar. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche, Haren, Snyder work behind, and Jackson, Young, and Upton in the outfield. Strike one right down the middle to Matt Kemp. Kemp at 275, 7 home runs, 21 batted in. 28 runs scored. Boy, how about that? Another cutter. That had a downward tilt to it. If that's what it was.
You never know with Dan. He might have come up with something else in between starts. You know what? I might just work on a sinker. He's got that kind of talent.
The 0-2. Bounces a split-fingered fastball in there to Kemp. Kemp coming off a year in which he won a Gold Glove in center field and a Silver Slugger with a bat in his hand. The Dodgers to do that in Los Angeles, Russell Martin in 07 and Dusty Baker in 81. Over the top, split-fingered fastball, back-to-back strikeouts to start things off.
Well, after losing 4 in a row on this homestand, it's nice to see Dan Haren come out and set a tone. Russell Martin, strikeout. Now, Matt Kemp, the multi-talented center fielder, goes down swinging as well. And you really want the guy stepping in the box, hitting with the bases empty these days.
Incredible numbers for the man out of St. Mary's and Arizona State, Andre Ethier. As that is a curveball that misses away. All right, so the first one we've seen shows it to the best hitter right now in the Dodgers lineup. Great career numbers, as you can see. 2 of the homers. As that one, a cut fastball dives down and in. This is last June in Dodger Stadium. That's a fastball.
Fastball in. And he crushed it. Let's see what he goes with here, 2-0. Coming inside. That is that a split, Darren?
I have it as a split. That's really what I think it is.
87 miles an hour. I mean, it's diving, but do you throw splits in? That's about the 3rd or 4th, whatever that is, we've seen.
The 2-1. That was a curveball up. 2-2 the count. You don't complain. It wasn't where he wanted, but you don't complain about it.
It was up, but it was on the outside corner. That's the only thing that saved Dan Haren there.
All right, let's see if he can get Ethier to chase. He has struck out 14 times this year.
Fastball in.
The 2-2. Inside corner, Ethier doesn't like the call. Dan Haren just struck out the side. Good morning, Mr. Martin. Good afternoon, Mr. Kemp. And good evening, Mr. Ethier. We'll go ahead and throw you in the pool. for shaking things up for you, Skipper. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. And at the top, got to get Kelly Johnson going in that lineup. Connor Jackson bats second for the Skipper. Southwest Airlines brings it to you. It's Justin Upton, Alan LaRoche, and Mark Reynolds. Stephen Drew owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chris Young, at this point, you can say having a fabulous season. It's certainly deep enough into the year. Chris Snyder catches Dan Haren. And John Eli, welcome to the big leagues now. Third major league start. He came over this winter in the Juan Pierre deal. And when he came over, look, you might not know who he is, but he won 14 games in Double-A last year in Birmingham for Chicago.
Yeah, a big prospect for the White Sox. Came over, as you said, in the Juan Pierre deal. He's a guy that seems to be his best pitch is his changeup. He's got a swing and miss changeup, and they say it's a special off-speed pitch, along with not more than 90 miles an hour with the fastball.
Fly ball pitcher, right? Not necessarily a ground ball pitcher.
And also you talk to a lot of people in the Dodger organization. He might not be big on stuff, but he's got a lot of heart.
And he paints over the outside corner. That is strike one. Well, look, folks, we have gotten to come to enjoy watching a young man by the name of Ian Kennedy pitch. He pitches about 89 to 90 tops. And this young man certainly could do the same thing. Now, he is out of Miami of Ohio, back in the Midwest.
Okay.
He was third-round pick back in 2007. Illinois boy.
No, he's from Harvey, Illinois. That's on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
Probably a White Sox fan now.
Huge White Sox fan. He is not at all a Cubs fan. Huge White Sox fan. That's his team.
Yeah, there's a couple back in Chicago.
Flossmoor High School, as that one was a strike to Andre Ethier, by the way, a moment ago.
One guy named Dan Haren gets it. The young rookie hadn't quite gotten it yet.
2-2, ripped foul.
That was the changeup that time. Way out in front of it there was Kelly Johnson.
Kelly, 10 home runs, 19 RBIs. You saw that a moment ago. Struggling of late, 1 for 12. Kelly pops that one, laid on it and into the seats. He's not alone, though, Kelly. You can see what has gone on in the last 7 games. We talked about it in the pregame show. That's just the ship being righted a little bit. Regression to the mean, statistical people like to call it. It won't hang on forever. Now, that looked like a curveball that was hot.
Yeah, that was just one that just hung up there. And once again, the leadoff batter giving the starting pitcher all he wants right out of the gate. This time it's Kelly Johnson's seeing a lot of pitches. Well, that is a good changeup, Darren. Kelly fortunate to stay alive.
What's one of the tips that you look at? Is it the hitter
arm
almost
swing.
going to his knee as well when he swings?
The arm swing. I mean, boom. And then it just never gets there. You can see Kelly fortunate to be around. They're battling.
We'd like to early on thank the radio voice of the Birmingham Barons, Kurt Bloom, who sent us this great scouting report, and he's on the money. Look, we talked to our Diamondbacks folks as well, but CB, good stuff. You've got us ready for young John Eli.
Changeup. Steve Reich, 3. Everybody's just going to strike out tonight. I mean, the big arm swing, and you can see way out in front of it was Kelly Johnson.
So now Connor Jackson. Last year in Birmingham, Eli with the 14 wins.
That's a lot of wins in the minor leagues. You're playing one less month in the minor leagues.
That's a very good point that we don't talk about a lot. I mean, you start about a week or two later, and then you end, September 1, correct?
You probably got at least 6, 7 less starts in the minor leagues.
Connor Jackson hits a rocket shot. But it's foul. Let's take a look at the defense for the Los Angeles Dodgers, brought to you by our good friends with Mercedes-Benz. And so we move along with Manny Ramirez, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, Blake, Carroll, Belliard, and Loney. Russell Martin is there behind the plate. So Jackson lines out to third. Ronnie Belliard, he was one of the reasons they allowed Orlando Hudson to become a Minnesota Twin this winter. The play of Belliard, who's been at it for a long time, has a ring from the 2006 St. Louis Cardinals. Don't forget about that.
Played great for the Cardinals down the stretch. Did the same thing here for the Dodgers last year.
There's something, too, as Upton jumps ahead in the count 1-0. That pitch is away to being a winner. This young man won 27 games in high school. He was All-State through a perfect game. Won 26 games at Miami of Ohio. In his minor league career, he won 32 games. There's something about being a winner. I know you have to have stuff. You have
wholeheartedly agree.
But right, doesn't that count for something?
Something
Average
you
stuff.
can't teach is how to win. That means you go deep in games. That means you find ways to get your team to victory.
3-1 the count as that one misses outside. 5 home runs, 16 batted in for Justin. 1 for 4 with a double last night. Hitters count of 3-1. Hot shot, base hit, Upton. Out on a rocket to Manny Ramirez. All right, there's a 2-out base runner for the Diamondbacks, and Upton raising that average.
Yeah, Upton starting to hit the ball a lot better the last couple of games. That ball stays up in the zone like a hanging slider. Boy, Justin just destroys it right over the head of shortstop Jamie Carroll.
And so now Adam LaRoche. Adam 255, 4 homers, 20 batted in. Right down the middle at the belt, 0-1 the count to Adam. An on-base percentage of .367, and he's slugging .480 on the year. Facing the young man out of Harvey, Illinois. December is, I would imagine, his outlook on life really changed forever. When you're in AA, you do well, but you might not have a chance to pitch in the big leagues, at least not for another year or so. Juan Pierre's move, there's some financial things that go into it. Well, here you are. You're getting a chance to pitch in the major leagues, and it happens, I would imagine, very quickly. For that man.
Well, that's the thing about the minor leagues. I mean, yeah, you're loyal to the team that drafts you, and you're loyal to the team, the organization you're pitching for, but you're pitching for every major league club. There's scouts in the stands every single game. Well, it happened to be that the Dodgers said, okay, we'll take this kid.
It always goes back to that story, too, about Craig Counsell when he was playing in the minor leagues in AAA for Colorado. Jim Leyland heard enough in '97, go get this kid named Craig Counsell. They made the right move to get him. Well, he never went back to the minor leagues after that. And won a world championship about a month and a half later, as that one is high. We don't talk about that enough. I mean, when you're playing down there, it's not just your scouting director and your farm and general manager watching.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There was 6 minor leaguers for the Diamondbacks that went to Oakland for Dan Haren, the starter tonight. Good pitch.
It was a strike to Ethier. It is now a strike to LaRoche. Getting to know John Eli tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. We roll on. We are scoreless 2-1 poolside. as we broadcast this ball game. Glad to have you with us out at Chase Field. Some dates available, by the way, some prime dates available. June 11th against the Cardinals. July 4th. Somebody buy that up and donate it to a whole bunch of folks in the military. A great thing.
Great
the
idea.
Cubs, the New York Mets, the Rockies. View it out here. 602-462-4600. Reserve the pool tonight. Receive a Justin Upton autographed jersey. It's that one right there. Gracie's got it.
It's right here.
So don't
It's
get it wet.
autographed.
That's autographed. So Manny Ramirez goes to work, late on a fastball, and into the upper deck it goes. Cardinals, Dodgers, Cubs, Mets, Rockies, and then the Dodgers. But July the 4th for sure. Somebody do something special, and this is a great place to watch a ball game. Curveball misses in. Manny has an interesting history against Dan Haren. It's interesting for him. 15 for 28. 15 for 28 with 3 home runs and 4 doubles.
Good pitch right at the kneecaps to jump ahead 1-2.
Lance Barksdale calling strikes tonight.
He's calling a lot of them. He's getting some looks back at him, certainly, in disbelief. A windy night here tonight.
It is a windy night for the youngsters that are in the pool. They need to stay in. It's one of those. That one runs in. Looked like he spun off a split-fingered fastball there. Maybe got on the side of it.
That's exactly what he did. See the split starts to sail in. Manny able to lay off of it.
Missed 14 games with a right calf strain. It's a ground ball, and it eats up to third, Mark Reynolds. And so into left field it goes. Leadoff base runner is on in the form of Manny Ramirez.
And when you own a pitcher, you get these kind of hits. Chopper, Reynolds can't come up with it. That'll go as a base hit.
So Manny was 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI yesterday. He reaches, and now James Loney. Loney at 310, 3 home runs. You know, a lot is made about the fact that he's not a big home run hitter. He's got 21 runs batted in already this year.
Doesn't matter how you drive them in, as long as you drive them in. You can drive them in 1 at a time or 3 at a time. At the end of the year, you're sitting over 90 RBIs, which is where he usually is. That's very productive.
Amica Insurance, proud partner of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metropolitan Phoenix. They bring us the hit zone for James Loney. Fouls that one off. Up into the seats it goes. Last night, boy, what a beautiful piece of hitting this was.
Took a change up, down and away, and didn't try to pull it. Just drove it out of here to left center field.
In his last 8 games, as you can see the numbers on the season, in his last 8 games against Arizona, he's got 15 hits. He's hitting .429. 6 multi-hit games for James. 1-1 the count. Boy, that got on him.
That was a hard fastball right at the kneecaps. Good pitch. I mean, right at the bottom of the kneecaps. Barksdale's, he's using that right arm a lot.
That's my kind of guy. I'd invite him to my backyard barbecue by the pool. You keep calling those strikes, Lance. The 1-2. In. It's a rocket shot down the line. It goes, and it's foul.
That was a cut fastball in on the hands. If you hit it on the barrel of the bat, that's all you're going to do is pull it foul.
You know, funny thing 2 pitches ago, that fastball that was, what, 92? And it looked like it was 98 to Loney. When you can throw 4 pitches for a strike successfully, and you sneak a fastball by someone, you really can make them look foolish.
That's exactly right. Let's see if he's got him lined up for the split finger now. He did. Right over the top of it he goes. That's what that cut fastball inside does. It makes the hitter speed up to get to it, and then you slow him down with the beautiful split finger.
Haren, over his first 4 starts, had an ERA over 5. In his last 3, it's below 3. Everything's gotten better. Pitching with runners on base. All the key things that go along with it. And a breaking ball. Strike one to the veteran, Casey Blake. This is what has occurred. We've come to where we show you these and we'll tell you they're good, but they don't surprise us anymore. This is what we expect most every time. Fair or not.
Exactly right.
I mean, you find yourself more stunned when you talk about the first 4 starts for Dan Haren, when he gives up a few runs on occasion. He's just earned that reputation.
He's earned that reputation, you're correct, especially in the first half of the season when, well, he just, in his past, has not done, he just doesn't give up runs early in the season.
1-1 the count. Blake has a nice history and has faced Dan a lot from his time when he was with Cleveland, and Dan Haren was with Oakland. This year quietly plodding along, 3 home runs, but 18 runs batted in. But he's a .343 career hitter against Haren, as that one's over the inside corner.
That's the cut fastball. I mean, it stayed right in the middle of the plate, and it just froze Casey Blake in that situation. Watch this ball stay right in the center of the plate.
Danny's strikeouts are up this year. As we were saying,
every out has been via the strikeout tonight.
And that was just, again, an example of when you can throw everything else for a strike.
Looking off speed. Got a 91 mile an hour fastball right down the middle, but when you're looking for the split finger, you're not going to catch up with 91. He's putting on a clinic right now.
The percentage of Dan's strikes this year that are swinging strikes, 21%. As that one swung right through by Ronnie Belliard. For perspective, in career, it's 16. League average is 14%. So he is 7 points above league average in the swinging strikes that he gets.
Well, he's got a couple or 3 pitches that are swing and miss pitches. The cutter, the split finger, and even the curveball has become a swing and miss pitch for him.
Cut fastball. Swings right through that one. I mean, that number, 21%, almost seems low, doesn't it, folks? Seems like they're swinging and missing every time in this game. 0-2 the count. He struck out 9 Houston Astros. As that one is outside to Ronnie Belliard.
See, that's when you know you've got great stuff, is when you can throw a pitch almost 2.5 feet outside, and yet you still get an offer from Belliard. He almost offered at that pitch.
The 1-2. Got him. Split-fingered fastball. He has struck them all out. He allowed a single to Manny Ramirez. Otherwise, 6 outs for Dan Haren in the ballgame. Every one of them Ks in the book. Oh, my. That's not edited at all. That really happened back then.
It did. That's a big man, Jimmy T.
So he went into the pool. Later on tonight, Mark Grace will be going in the pool, folks, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
True. Oh, Jody
Go
Jackson
ahead and
getting
vote
some late
for Mark
run.
Grace. I want to make it clear to you all, I'm disappointed so far with your support.
Jody getting some late run. That's it.
Remember,
all you male viewers out there,
Gracie,
get Jody in the pool.
I mean, we got 25,000 votes. I mean, can you top that? Can you personally top that?
No.
I mean, we need more votes for Gracie.
No, that's not true. Don't let him poison you, folks.
Give him the first A he's ever gotten.
Don't.
Vote for Gracie.
Sure. That's for sure.
Here's Mark Reynolds to lead it off.
I got credit if I got my name right.
I'm very confused how I even got voted in last year. You know, you're the world champ. You're the popular color analyst. That's a strike? Over the outside corner to Mark. Mark with 10 home runs, 27 batted in. And as much as he is hitting .224 still, slugging percentage over 500 at .509 as that one is high. A couple of strikeouts and a walk and an 0 for last night. And there you see the month of May.
Hey, this kid got some polish to him.
Talking about John Eli, 23-year-old right-hander. He'll be 24 in 2 days. Looks like he got on top of a slider there as that one missed outside.
Let's see if he goes with that swing and miss change up here. He's going with the fastball away.
Reynolds hits a high fly ball. Ethier picks it up. Looking into that dust sky out in front of it. Don't forget, by the way, that every time a Diamondbacks hits a homer this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. We are poolside calling this baseball game. Glad to have you with us. Taking a look out as Stephen Drew gets ready to hit. As the pitch is high. Drew hitting over 300, has a pair of homers. 10 runs batted in. And again, extra base hits have been there for him this year. He's got 10 doubles.
Good change up for a called strike. When you can throw that pitch for a called strike, you've got good command of it. Another one, that time the swing and miss.
Such an important pitch, too, from a right-handed pitcher to be able to throw to left-handed hitters.
Oh, and these guys have the scouting report. They've been told that this guy has got a very good changeup. But until you see it, you just can't believe it.
1-2 the count. Guys in the locker room will call it a Bugs Bunny changeup. Steven, though, makes an instant adjustment, goes the other way on a fastball. You like the idea. You see what he was thinking, but Drew was ready. Boy, is he hot, especially against the Dodgers.
That's a young pitcher right there. Okay, I'm going to trick him. He's looking for a changeup, I know. I'm going to throw this fastball by him. Nope. Nice job by Stephen Drew. Nice job by Manny Ramirez cutting that ball and getting it back in and holding Stephen Drew to a single. Good hitting right there.
Boy, Stephen this year against the Dodgers now has 8 hits in 17 at-bats. Chance for Chris Young to drive in number 27 and or 28 on the year as he digs in. Young just below 300, 298, and he takes a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. He was 1 for 2 with a homer and a couple of walks last night. Remember, he had an 0 for 18 run in the middle of April that he has recovered from very nicely. He is driving back to the bag as Drew.
And that's what we've seen from Chris Young, at least so far early this season, Darren, is instead of a month and a half of being cold, it was only about 5 or 6 games.
Mm-hmm. And it was ice cold, but he bounced right out of it. Good fastball, but it's called inside. This is part of the heating up.
That was it off Chad Billingsley. Breaking ball that stayed up. He drove it about 10 rows back. Unfortunately, there wasn't much other offense last evening.
Chris hitting .421 as that one is lifted. Since those struggles, heading over is Ronnie Belliard, and he puts it away for the second out. And so now, Chris Snyder. Earlier today, Miguel Montero taking another step forward, hoping to have him back within a month. No timetable as of yet, but out taking batting practice, being able to put some weight on that. Next thing will it be extended spring for Miguel Montero? He got some bunts down. I promised later he did drive it in the gap.
I was going to say, that's not batting practice.
That was just the warm-up.
That's dropping bunts.
Meantime, Chris Snyder takes a pitch, a fastball just off the plate.
How are you going to lie to me and tell me he was taking batting practice?
Well, I was there. I saw it. He drove several balls in the gap.
Okay.
Didn't hit any in the pool. 1-0 the count. Chris off the end of the bat, pops it up. Back of short. And Carroll puts that one away. A quiet day continues, just 3 for 25 for Snyder. Play. All 6 outs so far in this ball game, Gracie and folks, have been strikeouts.
Called strikes, swinging strikes, on fastballs, on changeups, you name it. Dan Haren's been right on the money so far. His counterpart, John Eli, also right on the money as well. I mean, we're only through 2 innings and he's throwing up those Ks. Right above Uptown. We're out this way.
So Danny goes back to work against Jamie Carroll. For call with a hamstring injury, has missed the last couple of weeks, and in that time, Carroll has stepped in nicely. Veteran who began his career in Montreal, played in Washington as well, hit .292 in those 14 games. And that one down the line, and it's a foul ball. So Danny will go back to work. Interesting thing happened in 2008. Obviously, the Dodgers changed, at least for the next couple of years, when they acquired Manny Ramirez. And in those 2 starts after in 08, Dan Haren had a tough time with the Dodgers. He wasn't alone, Brandon Webb did, but he was 0-2 with an ERA of about 9.
Right down the stretch.
The 0-2.
I know you're going to be shocked, but Dan Haren just collected another strikeout.
Outside the box, boy, speaking of strikeouts, Gracie, 33 strikeouts in 2 games. Big league record, Kerry Wood, Jack in the box. You remember that.
That was pretty impressive. I got to play behind that. Struck out 20 previous to that outing.
So 1-1 the count. Well, I'm guessing we may get another strikeout here. I mean, we don't assume.
Well, you never know. John Eli might be able to swing the bat a little bit. No, he's a terrible hitter.
Well, here's the deal. 0 for 4 this year in the big leagues with a sac bunt, and only 3 chances to have an at-bat in the minor league so far. He was only in Double-A last year. They used the DH quite a bit.
Oh, he laid off it. That's called stepping in the bucket right there. I mean, that's one of the better bucket steppers you're going to find in the major leagues. Watch that front foot. Yikes!
Another strikeout for Dan Haren. The first 8 outs have been strikeouts. There has been a single in there, Manny Ramirez.
Well, that's having no chance right there. That's okay, son. They pay the other guys to hit.
Breaking ball drops in there. That's a curveball now to Russell Martin. The Dodgers have put a ball in play 1 time. It was a Manny Ramirez single. Line drive. Well, that ends the string of strikeouts. But it doesn't end the string of the outs he has gotten via the strikeout.
Every out.
He went 3 in a row, then he went 5 in a row, now a single.
He just played at a fastball there, 0-1. Russell Martin just smoked it right back up the box.
Kemp, does he offer to pitch down and away? He did not. Ed Rapuano out there at first. By the way, it's Lance Barksdale, who I'm a big fan of already. Ed Rapuano, Tom Hallion, and Ron Kolpa on Around the Diamond.
Good crew. All friends of the show.
The 1-0. Off the end of the bat, dying. Coming on in, he'll play it on a hop. Connor Jackson. So now you have Russell Martin with a single. Matt Kemp with a little broken bat single in front of Andre Ethier.
This is where the Dodgers hurt the D-backs last night. 2 out base hits. Well, these first 2 really don't hurt you, but what it does do is bring the best hitter in the National League to this date to the plate.
He is 17 for 34 this year with runners in scoring position. These are the numbers.
Better than anyone. That includes all the great ones you would think would be ahead of him. Albert Pujols. Nope. Thus far, this kid's been better than all of them.
That pitch is high. Ethier in the month of May, 19 for 36. 528.
Well, you're just full of good news, aren't you?
There's the other news I told you about earlier. Breaking ball.
Breaking ball.
Can I give you one more?
Sure.
This month, as we see a good-looking curveball. He is 7 for 11 with runners in scoring position. The 1-1. Haren looking to get Ethier. Obviously, he'll take him any way he can get him. Pop up, ground out. But if he does strike him out, that'll mean the first 9 outs have been strikeouts.
I just got cannonballed.
Did you now?
That's all right.
That's good.
That's all right.
1-2 the count. Your handlers are telling folks to be careful back behind there.
No. Go ahead and cannonballs.
I say yes, sir.
Yeah.
Come on in. There we go. There was a young man who did it.
That's all right.
Good stuff. Out here at the pull, out there on the diamond, the 1-2 runs in. That looked like a hard cut fastball.
That's exactly
88.
what it was, yeah. Just overthrew it a little bit and yanked it. And Haren, no time to mess around. You got to find somehow, some way to dispose of the best hitter in the National League. And this is the second time around. As you can see, Dan Haren suffers a little more.
The 2-2. Pounds it foul, and boy, is he dialed in right now. Guys like this, and we've seen Upton in this zone. We've seen Kelly Johnson as the player of the month in a zone like this, where you take so many borderline pitches and you know they're balls, and you're right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even offer at them. You see them right out of their hand. You take them, and if it's in the strike zone, you just explode.
The 2-2. A little topper, and it's a foul
and even
ball.
when you are fooled like that, you find a way to just scrape it foul and earn yourself another pitch. Chris Snyder going to come out and ask Dan Haren, okay, I mean, just able to nick this ball somehow, some way foul.
So they catch their breath for a moment. Not only discussing it, but giving them a chance to figure out exactly what they want to do. 2-2 the count to Andre Ethier. A St. Mary's Knight, war number 14. Right here in town, had that number retired in March. Got it. That is 9 strikeouts, all 9 outs to start this ball game. Split-fingered fastball, correct?
It sure was, and it was the best one of the night when he needed it most.
I'm glad to have you with us. Want to remind all of you, a great place to take in a game. Some great dates, certainly. June 11th, July 4th. We've made our recommendation.
Those are big-time games.
Somebody pick that up and donate it to your favorite group of military men and women. That would be a great idea. You get 35
tickets, right?
What, 5 parking passes, a $750 food and beverage credit, which is really nice. You got Pujols and the Cardinals coming to town, the Cubbies. July 21st, the Mets. Somebody does that on
4th of July, Dodgers.
If somebody does what we've talked about on July the 4th, Gracie and I will come out and have pregame dinner with you guys. We'll come hang out with you guys in honor of those men and women that serve our country on July the 4th. Heck, we may just come out anyway, but that's a good idea. We may come out and see you and have dinner with you a couple of times if you hop on tonight. Dan Haren,
$750 worth of food and beverage. That's $750 more than we got tonight.
Well, it's a very good point. As Dan Haren leads it off, 10 for 22 this year. 10 for 22. Pitchers with 4 hits in a game, as Dan had earlier this year. Only 14 have done it since 1970. Names like Dodgers Claude Osteen, Steve Avery did it, as that one is a strike. Of course, Danny did it on April the 20th. Owings a couple of times. Some pretty good names on that list. Claude Osteen. I just dropped a Claude Osteen.
Yeah, you did. He fabulous hitter. Pitching him careful, too. 3-1.
Well, he also, Dan, is riding a 6-game hitting streak. 10 for 17 during that time. He had that 4-hit game. A 6-game hitting streak for a pitcher. Big swing, pops it up.
Got him to chase ball 4.
And he, in foul territory, is retired. And speaking of Claude Osteen, there's an old school photo that was dug out of the archives from back my father's 2nd year in the big leagues. We had a chance to have Ann Myers Drysdale stop by. What an honor it is to
what a gem she is.
Say hello to her and wish her well with her Phoenix Mercury this year.
Your dad played with all those guys.
Certainly did.
What's Steve Yeager's name doing in there with all those hitters?
My favorite, I've told you this.
Lopes, Russell Say, and then right where her hands are, it says Yeager.
I was a huge as Johnson rolls it out to Loney. Kelly is retired. Kelly Johnson is 0 for 2. And continues to scuffle a bit. Let's take a look at our Geico quote from Mom. You can't go in the pool until you've waited a half hour after eating.
Well, how many times were you told that wives' tale?
All the time. All the time.
Get a stomach cramp and drown.
That's what'll happen. As Connor Jackson takes a pitch over the outside corner. Connor lined to third back in the 1st inning. Of course, from my perspective out here, I had him hitting a foul ball. But it was clearly right to the 3rd baseman out there, Casey Blake. Connor batting in the 2nd spot for the 57th time in his career as he takes in. Still, we look back on where Connor hit. Jacksonville, the section for Connor Jackson.
Got Uptown, and we've got Jacksonville. Oh, that's starting to get really big league, folks.
The 2-1.
Just
missed, huh? How about that? Good pitch there. 3-1 the count. But Connor still, more than any other spot in his career, as you see that one off the plate, has still batted cleanup more than any other spot in his career. That was from when he did it earlier in his career. On the ground, and a dig by Loney out front of the bag. A nice pick there. 1, 2, 3. Eli, just fine, thank you very much. for the fourth inning. And Dan Haren right now being matched by young John Eli for the Dodgers. Trivia question. Brought to you by AT&T, as many has walked up with some booze. Named the former Astros outfielder that led the National League in fielding percentage 3 times. The former Astros outfielder led the league in fielding percentage 3 times. I know that one. Do you?
Don't know what that's got to do with the price of tea, but Gonzo.
First pitch to Manny Ramirez. Had him out front. Rolled out to third and firing in time. Nice play, Mark Reynolds erasing Manny Ramirez. Go to Jody Jackson. We'll show that one to you here in a bit. But Jody, take it away.
Well, of course, the text poll is raging tonight, and the campaign for Mark Grace to go in the pool is really heating up. We've got, and he's very close to us, so he's trying to divert this campaign. But we've got break out the Speedo Gracie, vote for Grace. He's A on the text poll, and the fans are all going for this and having their own signs in the stands. But the other thing is, Gracie, I talked to Gonzo on the field before the game. Gonzo is going to be texting tonight.
What?
A for Grace. And Matt Williams. He'll be texting as well. Yeah,
Matt
I know
Williams.
He's coaching, but he's texting.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about my Diamondbacks now that I heard that report.
Not real happy about those signs. And I don't think anybody really wants to see a Speedo on this.
The 1-0 to James Loney. Drives that one to center field. Young going back. He's tracking. It's over his head and it's off the wall. Plays it cleanly. Will shoot it back into the cutoff man. But James Loney after a strikeout with the double. So we have the first non-strikeout out, if you will, when Manny grounded out. And now this.
Boy, that was just a laser off the bat of the red-hot James Loney. And he beats Chris Young on the fly and a runner in scoring position here in the fourth inning.
You think about that play by Mark Reynolds. If, in fact, the at-bat goes as follows, and you can't assume that it will, but that drives in a run.
That was a great play by Reynolds on Manny Ramirez, and you're right. And the way the Diamondbacks are looking right now off of young John Eli, 1 or 2 might be enough. Watch Reynolds coming in, a lot of range, the bare hand, and the strike across the diamond to get Ramirez by a couple of steps. Terrific play.
Casey Blake was a strikeout victim. Again, if you're just joining us, Dan Haren, through the first 3 innings, he allowed 3 hits, but he struck everyone out. All of his outs were strikeouts. 9 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. So he's already at that total as he works here in the fourth. Boy, good pitch. It's called outside to Casey Blake. Timely hitting has been there for him. And strikeout high is 12. He last did it a couple of years ago against San Francisco. That one's driven. Young going back, still going. He can't get there. It's over his head. That'll play to run. So Blake reaches out, drives it the other way, and back-to-back doubles, trading places, these 2 Dodgers, and 1-0 LA leads it.
Just a cutter that stays in the middle of the plate. Casey Blake drives it to the right side, and once again, Chris Young gets beat on the fly, gives it all he's got, but he can't reach it. And the Dodgers strike first here in the fourth inning. Now it's up to Dan Haren to keep it at 1 run and 1 run only. Ronnie Belliard swinging and missing a lot.
Belliard has been on attack. He looks like he rolled out of bed swinging his bat hard this morning. He and Blake DeWitt are kind of sharing time. And the 0-1. Belliard drives that one out this way. Young won't get there. It's up and over the wall. Rattles around out where we're sitting, so it's a ground rule double for Ronnie Belliard. That is 3 consecutive doubles. 3 in a row for these Dodgers. And you know what they're doing? None of them are attempting to pull Dan Haren.
No, they're just taking those cut fastballs away and driving them to the big part of the park. That's how you attack a cut fastball. Another one stand right in the middle of the plate, up. And what these Dodgers have done just about every time a Diamondback pitcher has made a mistake. Get it, Jody.
I didn't make the play.
Nice try. That's our
Gotta
buddy.
make that play,
That's our
don't
buddy.
I?
That's our buddy Matt Marmus making that play over there.
So
You're a little slow on the draw there, Jody.
as that one is up and in. 2-0 the score. Jamie Carroll struck out in the third inning. 3 doubles in succession for the Dodgers. They lead Dan Haren 2-0. Curveball stays up and in. "64 pitches. He'll get a visit here. Didn't seem to want the visit.
I'm sure he's frustrated with the way things are going. He was just lighting it up there for a while. He makes 3 bad pitches and they all get whacked. And now you're sitting in a 2-run deficit with an offense that's been struggling on the homestand. Right now being shut out by a rookie in his third start. So I'm sure there's a little frustration there. And yeah, he's still got that old school in him. This is my mound. Go ahead and get off it.
That one the other way has Justin Upton leaking in. Easy chance he makes the play.
But whatever Mel Stottlemyre told him, it worked. As is usually the case with Mel. Hey, Darren, are you planning a special event for your company, your school, or your group?
School.
Contact the D-Backs Group sales representative and they'll do everything for you. Customize flyers, set up food and beverage, get the best seats in the house. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/groups.
Good idea. They'll help you put your whole outing together, even if it's an outing out here to the pool. A big group for you. A lot of great dates available. 0-1 the count to John Eli. He struck out back in the third inning. A little topper has Haren off the mound. And in time for the out. But 3 consecutive doubles for the Dodgers. And they grab a 2-0 lead on top of the Diamondbacks and their ace. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. 2-0 the score here at Chase Field. Dodgers and Diamondbacks fans coexisting. Our trivia question. The former Astro outfielder that led the National League in fielding percentage 3 times. They used to say, now batting Terry Poole for the Houston Astros in 79, 81, and 89. The old Houston Astro. I only remember that, Gracie. He was a teammate of my father.
I remember him as a pinch hitter.
Reserve tonight and receive a Justin Upton signed jersey. Some great dates available. We're really leaning on you for July the 4th. That's a fabulous date, July the 4th. But you got games with the Cubs. You got games coming up with the Cardinals, the Dodgers. So we will see you out at the pool. No doubt about it. Good stuff. 602-462-4600. All right, we can talk about John Eli, and there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. As dominating as Dan Haren was early, what are your very early, I mean, you got the scouting report we got from the minor leaguers that were around him, the scouting report. What do you think of him so far?
Well, so far, so good. He's kind of come as advertised, a fastball in the high 80s, a good changeup. He's been around the plate. And right now, he's just continuing a disturbing trend with the Diamondbacks offense on this homestand.
Yeah, the struggles continue over the last week of games. The Diamondbacks come in averaging 5.2 runs per game. That is the third highest total in the National League. Milwaukee's number 1 at 5.7. Philly number 2, 5.4. Arizona and LA, the only remaining teams over an average of 5 runs per game. Strike one to Justin Upton. So season as a whole, good offense, just not of late. That pitch is low, and I think it'll be interesting to see how he handles now the meat of the order and making his way through the second time.
Yeah, and how does he protect a lead? How do you go out after your offense just got you 2 runs off a star pitcher like Dan Haren?
Oh, boy. Slow curveball there.
Boy, Justin was about 8 feet out in front of that one.
Has he shown this look on this pitch?
Not that I know of. I don't recall any slow curves yet.
A little slider. He's throwing a breaking ball, but not that slow. Boy, that's a good pitch.
And there's another one. Same result. Strike 3.
There's a sign of a maturing pitcher, by the way. Maybe a little bit before his time. Adjusting right away second time through.
Just slower than slow. And once again, Justin, a big swing. Coming up empty.
Keeping a pitch in his pocket is what I think he was doing. Harvey, Illinois is where he is from. That's the slider. That one dives down and in. Adam struck out looking back in the first inning. And that one is rolled foul. That was late July. It was 2008. The Dodgers brought Manny Ramirez to Los Angeles, and since then this rivalry between these two clubs, which is a fun one to cover, has been fairly leaning towards the blue.
Quite a lot.
The last 31 games since that trade, 10-21 for the Diamondbacks against the Dodgers. One and two the count. That one on the ground, an easy chance for Ronnie Bellio. And he makes the play for the out. Hey, don't forget, by the way, while you're watching Wednesday night's game against the Dodgers, starting at 6:30, log on to FoxSportsArizona.com and talk baseball with veteran baseball writer Jack Magruder. Talk baseball with Jack. Study the game like there's some studying going on there. Ready for that big upcoming series. Mark Reynolds takes a fastball away.
All right, I'm ready for some offense, Darren.
Are you now?
I'm tired of all these goose eggs lately.
Diamondbacks still lead the National League in home runs, as that one is high. 2-0 the count. They've homered 44 times. Popped up. Loney is under it. A light wind will swirl it around a bit, but James in fair territory puts it to bed. 1-2-3 go the Diamondbacks. Swimming right along is Eli. Dodgers lead it by a score of 2-0. A lot of folks have been asking us, what is Kachinko? Well, our good friends with Gila River Casinos will tell you. Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field. Go to the kiosk during section 111 during Diamondbacks regular season home games. Back to work, looking to keep it right where it's at, is Dan Haren. 0-1 the count over the outside corner to Russell Martin. Martin struck out, then singled in the third inning. Jumps ahead 0-2, no balls and 2 strikes. The race to 0-2. Dan gets there well above, better than he ever has in his career. About 27% of all plate appearances. And that one is low and inside. League average about 22% of pitchers get there. Well, he is a scary, scary pitcher at 0-2. I don't really see where you go. Martin lays off the splitter. And then the fastball is hit on a couple of hops out to Mark Reynolds. Throws in time for the out. 1 away.
Join the D-backs for Family Fridays all season long. $20 gets you a game ticket, $10 in food and merchandise credit, and a ticket to Sea Life, Arizona. Plus, on select Fridays, there's a post-game fireworks show courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Friday.
Love Friday with the family at the ballpark in the fireworks. Kemp goes to driving it, coming our way.
I got it.
Justin Upton's got room. Nope, he's got it. Thank goodness. Because if you've got it, then Dan Haren's in trouble.
Exactly. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was heading our way. Upton about 10 feet out in front of the wall there. Right on the edge of the track. So Kemp, again, these Dodgers, they're using the big part of the ballpark.
Sitting back and letting the ball travel. And the damage they've done, like you said, is to the big part of the park and the opposite field.
Here's Andre Ethier. Slaps that one. Boy, look at him. All of them using the whole diamond. But look at Danny Haren. A quick 1-2-3. 2-0. He is down. Bottom of the 5th. Time to get him some runs. Let's flash it back. July 2002. He did it as a Cub. He was the first to do it. He did it as a Diamondback. The 3rd home run in the pool for Mark Grace. So we visit the pool tonight. Tonight's pool question is, who will go into the pool? Will it be Gracie?
Oh, no. Come on.
At 47%.
Vote
A for Mark
Jody's
Grace.
catching up. Jody's catching up. I love it.
Vote
Come on, folks.
A
Get Jody
for
in
Mark
that
Grace.
pool.
No.
We need to see Jody in the pool. Good job, fans. Keep it up.
I'm not as concerned about who's going in the pool, truth be told. I'm concerned about getting these bats going. 0-1 the count to Stephen Drew. Don't worry about the pool when you jump in later. The 0-1 is inside.
What? Oh.
1-1 the count to Stephen.
Don't listen to him, folks. He's just teasing.
Stephen singled back in the second inning. 8 hits against the Dodgers this year in his 5th game. There's that change of pace.
Well, Stephen Drew got a base hit in his only at bat, and it was on a 2-strike fastball. I would imagine Mr. Eli is going to throw him another 2-strike changeup here. He did, and he got the swing and miss.
He went to school, Gracie. We have seen him the second time through the order make adjustments, and that shows you something.
Yeah. I mean, you just remember what happened in the first at bat, and you kind of just go from there. Eli adjusted, Stephen didn't.
I'll tell you, Eli and his comfort level in his 3rd major league start, he's pitched in New York and against Milwaukee. As that one is high, 1-0 the count. His major league debut was in Citi Field. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs. He was a 7-3 loser, but he got his feet wet. Against Milwaukee, 6 2/3, 1 run. Here's the key against the Brewers. No walks, 7 strikeouts. It was the Dodgers' 7-3 win, though he got a no decision.
3-0.
Hasn't walked anyone yet in this game.
Well, you got a young kid, 3rd start, and he doesn't walk people. Like you said, he didn't walk anybody in his last start. There's a strike. That shows you that he's got no fear. He's got heart. He's not afraid to throw strikes. He's not afraid of contact. You'd be surprised how many youngsters have that fear. Got him to swing at ball 4 there. Diamondbacks very aggressive.
Cut that 3-1 pitch.
Maybe a little
Cut
cutter
fastball.
or a slider there.
But again, pitching like a winner. I mean, he really is. Little topper. It's right off the end of the bat.
Just able to nick that one foul. Good pitch.
Full count, 1 out. Left that one up a little bit. Another slider. So we'll do it again.
He just continues to pour strikes in there.
Threw 108 last time out. He's at 70 pitches. He's fine. Young, diving attempt, and instead it's into left field for a base hit. So Chris, 1 for 2. That's just the 2nd Diamondbacks hit since that single they had in the 1st inning.
Nice at bat there. Finally got a fastball he can handle, and we all know Chris Young can handle fastballs, and just ripped it into left field.
So now Chris Snyder. He popped to short in the 2nd inning. And Chris 0 for 4 with the strikeout last night. There's that little slider that grabs the outside corner. Short little breaking ball.
It's an effective little pitch, isn't it?
He has also shown a very, very good slow curveball and then that changeup. Driving him back to the bag. Tough to tell with regard to holding base runners. There just haven't been enough opportunities to deal with it. We do know he has shown a lot of smarts on the hill. Huge jump. Well, we learned our lesson. Chris Young took a chance. He had studied enough and done his homework. He could have crawled the last 30 feet.
That's officially a pretty good jump right there. Now, if you're young Mr. Eli, you got to keep your composure. Russell Martin comes out and has a conversation with him.
And so a chance for Chris Snyder. Driving a run here. He's had 16 runs batted in this season. 1-1 the count.
Ooh, he took a fastball right down Broadway.
But just like we talked about Dan Haren earlier, when you're throwing 4 pitches for strikes,
makes it difficult.
You can fool a hitter with a fastball. So good numbers there for Chris. Outside. 2-2 the count to Snyder. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. For the Diamondbacks, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. LA has stranded 4. The D-backs so far a pair. Haven't had many opportunities.
Not really.
First runner in scoring position tonight. Outside with that slider. 3-2 the count. Pops it up. Loney's going to gauge if he has space. Heading over to the rail. Almost got there. But that's an area different than what we've seen from Mark Reynolds here at Chase Field. You don't leap over that because there's a dip down below there.
That would be Humpty Dumpty having a great fall. So very brightly and smartly, he did not. It was a big drop off right where he was.
The 3-2. Snyder puts it on the ground to short. They'll have to look the runner back to the bag, and in time for the second out of the inning. Well, let's see if Danny can help himself out as we take a look at our Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Neither pitcher is throwing in the mid to high 90s. Both pitchers are throwing very effectively. Outside of those 3 doubles in a row given up by Haren. Strike 1 with a breaking ball. Danny, we talked about it now, 10 for 23 this year. And statistically, the best hitting pitcher in the game. 1-1 the count.
Oh, he got a fastball to his liking.
The Amica hit zone. Brought to you by our good friends with Amica Insurance. Proud partners of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metropolitan Phoenix. Over the outside corner, got him with a slider. So the Diamondbacks, for the first time, have a runner in scoring position. That runner just sinks. Here by the pool. As much as we can, reminding you to vote for Grace to dive into the pool. The story has been Dan Haren with the 9 consecutive strikeouts. Of all outs recorded in the first 3 innings, they were all strikeouts for Danny. But, as we remind you to vote A in the 4th inning, the doubles stacked up. 1, 2, 3 in a row. Loney, Blake, and Belliard, 2-0 is the score. And, of course, our Blimpie game summary. 3 straight doubles in the 4th inning. Dan Haren, first 9 outs as strikeouts in this game. Sid Fernandez did it in 1986. Lincecum did it in 2008. It's only happened twice since 1986 before tonight. So a rarity this evening. And with all that, he's down. Manny Ramirez, so solid with his base. Sits back on a fastball and just shoots it to right field.
Well, you can see that is the game plan against Dan Haren. Sit back, don't try to pull the baseball. As you said, just so solid in his base. Balance is perfect. Yeah, he goes the other way, but man, he just ripped it the other way. It's just a great hitter.
So Manny is on. He is 2 for 3, and again, over 500, comfortably over 500 against Dan in his career. Now 17 for 31. Wrecking ball, drops it in there, the curve ball, strike 1 to Loney. If you want a double play, Dan has rolled up 4 of them this year in 28 opportunities. A little bit better than the league average pitcher. Two curveballs in a row. It's rare when we see that. And James has rolled into 4 of them.
You know, when you hit the ball hard and hit a lot of ground balls, you are going to hit into some double plays. Let's see if Danny can get a much needed one here. 3 breaking balls in a row, Darren.
There's the urgency you feel for Dan Haren and these Diamondbacks to get things going when you've lost 4 in a row and you're finding yourself. But otherwise, it's hard not to get lost in the way he pitches. You want him to be up. You can really enjoy things like what we just saw.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
3 curveballs in a row.
Which he rarely does. Now he's going to get the split finger. See if he can execute it. He did.
He got the ground ball, but it's in the hole. So 90 feet. Manny goes station to station. All right, so now the Dodgers even more so in business.
Well, he makes a nice pitch. Loney stays right on it and just rips it right through the hole. Here come the Dodgers right back, trying to add on. We just feel the way that Eli is pitching and the way the bullpen's going for these Dodgers. You're wondering if they get another 1 or 2 runs, that might be it. Beautiful bunt.
Blake gives himself up trying to get those couple of extra runs. A sac bunt for Casey Blake, who had doubled in a run back in the 4th inning.
It's winning baseball right there. Winning baseball.
So now Dan has to go to work after this.
Bunt right down the third base line. Nothing Haren can do but just pounce on it and get the out at first base. Now it's decision time. Do you want to pitch to Ronnie Belliard? Or do you put him on? They're going to pitch to him. Try to get a much-needed strikeout.
Danny's got 9. Hasn't recorded one since the 9 in a row that he got to start the game. Gave up those 3 doubles in the 4th. There was 2 groundouts and a flyout. 2 groundouts and a flyout in the 5th. Struck out the first 9 as outs.
Risky business right here. He threw the strike. Looked like a curveball there. I think he got it. You've got to get the strike out of the pop-up here.
Split-fingered fastball, dives low.
And I think right now they're probably pitching around Ronnie Belliard, trying not to give him anything too good to hit and take their chances with the bases loaded with Jamie Carroll.
Belliard makes the Diamondbacks pay. Shoots it into left field, drives in a run. So runners are on first and third. He's been hacking all night long, and twice he's been rewarded.
Yeah, we said it was risky business, and Belliard got a mistake right in the middle of the plate. Just right by a diving Reynolds, so the Dodgers do add on. They take the risk by not walking Belliard, and Belliard makes him pay.
So LA leads it over Arizona this evening by a score of 3-0. Now here's Jamie Carroll. Squeeze was on. He was coming down the line.
Pedal to the metal. I love that on Joe Torre's part. This is almost a pitch out. I think it may have been a pitch out, and he was able to get his bat on it. That's when you know you're struggling, when they're able to get the bat on a pitch out.
Joe putting the pedal to the metal. As you said, Jamie 0 for 2, the strikeout, and then the fly out to right field. Pitch is low, 1-1 the count. Just in case, a little lob back over, sends the runner back to the bag. Jamie Blake Carroll dealing with a 1-1 count. And Danny hoping beyond hope to stop it where it is now at 3-0. Overthrew that one, it stayed high. '87 pitches for the right-hander. He's a man out of Evansville. He's done yeoman's work in place of Rafael Furcal. A couple of times Haren with a bluff and then a look back, which leads you to believe he's not comfortable right now.
I think that's more coming from the bench, because you rarely see Dan Haren do that. Threw the breaking ball that time for a strike. Stayed on the inside corner.
2-2 the count. He would really love right now what he hasn't gotten since the third inning, and that's the strikeout. Stoudemire Jr. grinding with him. It's times like this, as a coach, you wish you could go out there and do it yourself, I would imagine. What an empty feeling. The 2-2. And the squeeze was on again.
Squeeze. Boy, is that risky.
And he is done.
Well, I don't know what's going on there. Joe Torre putting a 2-strike squeeze on when you've got a guy in Haren that throws a lot of split fingers, a lot of breaking balls. And I know it's easy to say, but that's just taking yourself right out of an inning there. So counted as a strikeout, and now the pitcher, Eli, coming up. And I'm Dan Haren. I'm looking over to the future Hall of Famer and Joe Torre, and I am saying thank you so very much.
And the runners remain on first and third. 90 pitches for Dan and a chance to stay in this ball game. Have it be much more realistic. A little topper. foul ball. Larry Bow is there with a hop, skip, and a toss. He'll make somebody happy. Eli is grounded out. He has struck out. Ground ball, having to leave his feet as LaRoche turns and flips Haren to the bag. Turned out pretty nicely. Cross your fingers there for a moment. That would have really hurt. Mr. Torrey calling for a risky squeeze. And a break for the Diamondbacks. Get a great deal on your new Nissan during Nissan's National Tent Event. See a Nissan dealer today. By Blimpie. It's America's Sub Shop. And by your Valley Hyundai dealers. It's time now for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Out here at the pool, and certainly glad to have you with us as we call the game tonight poolside. One of the most unique venues in all of baseball. And right now, Jody Jackson has the lead.
Yeah.
She may have to step on it.
Right. Way to go, fans.
Want to remind all of you to go ahead and vote for Mark Grace.
What a bunch of bright viewers we have tonight.
We need a big run for Gracie.
Yep.
Got to get him in the pool. Vote for Gracie. Vote A. If you have any pride, look, I had to do it last year, folks. Are you kidding?
Right.
I mean, are you kidding me?
And Jody, I think, is the perfect follow-up to you.
That's great.
Way to go, fans.
At some point, she'll go in. But come on, folks. Are you kidding me? Let's go.
Yes.
Don't let me down.
My people.
I took one for the team for you fans last year. Don't vote for C.
Yep.
Vote
C.
A for
Jody
Mark
Jackson.
Grace.
I'm very proud of you folks at home.
All right, let's get the offense
Vote
going.
early, vote often. Jody Jackson into the pool.
Kelly Johnson, Connor Jackson, Justin Upton. Arizona trying to get it going, down 3-0. And that one is driven to left. Heading back is Manny Ramirez. Still going. Manny almost overran it, and he makes the play for the out. Made the play over his shoulder, one away. Continue to do it, folks. Don't let me down.
Don't.
Hop on your telephones and text and text and text away. Get those subs
subscribe
working.
to that conspiracy theory, folks.
Very good stuff. Thank you, folks. Keep it going. You want to see him in the pool. You want to see him there. Very good stuff.
Yep. C. Jody Jackson. Come on, folks.
Here's Connor Jackson. And A is the way you should vote. Tell your friends as Connor takes a strike right down the middle. I'll tell you, this young man, John Eli, has been fun to watch.
He's absolutely dominated. 3 hits. All singles. And only one Diamondback to get to second base. He's working fast. He's throwing strikes. Man, a lot to like about this kid.
One and two, the count. Not a bad pitch at all. 1-2 the count. We shared that scouting report early. You see, 14 wins was the total last year for Eli in AA Birmingham. And the voice of the Barons, Kurt Bloom, sent a glowing scouting report to us. And he's lived up to it. Let me read a little bit of it to you, Gracie, for our fans to understand. Grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, where he and his family are White Sox fans, and it says fastball, changeup, and curve. His best pitch is what the Sox called internally a power change. One of the best changeups he has seen in his years as a broadcaster. As that one is swung right through. That was up in the zone, but he got away with it.
Looked like that little slider or cutter that he likes to throw. And his domination of the Diamondback offense continues. Just a spinning slider right past. No, he's not Sandy Koufax, but I'll tell you what, he's pitching like him tonight.
Happy anniversary to Sandy Koufax and that second career no-hitter, May 11th, 1963. I always say what I would give to go back in that time machine and to watch the legendary left-hander pitch. As the first pitch is outside, 1-0 the count. To see the Babe hit, to see Jackie run, and to see Sandy pitch. I'd love to do all three. And that's just for beginners. Justin Upton is on with 2 outs. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
That's that little cutter or slider, just drilled into the hole. 4th base hit for the Diamondbacks tonight. All 4 have been singles. Well, they're just one big hit away from just getting right back in this thing. That's how big that botched squeeze attempt was in the top of the inning. Dodgers had a chance to maybe get 2 or 3. They ended up getting only 1. I said just one big hit away from getting right back in this thing.
You see the numbers for Adam. Trying to string together some hits, these Diamondbacks. Two outs, 3-0 the score. Inside.
And that one certainly crossed up Martin.
Continuing to vote A and see if we can get Mark in the pool. Here's that fastball in, and it looked like it crossed him up the way he caught it. Either that or just missed his spot dramatically. Got him to chase a little bit up in the zone. And it swung right through. 1-1 the count. Diamondbacks trail it 3-0. The Dodgers have out-hit Arizona 9-4. Slow curveball. Slower than slow. I think he paid attention to Mr. Billingsley last night, didn't he?
I think he did, and he's getting the same results. A lot of swings and misses at pitches down, out of the zone, bouncing breaking balls. I think you're right. I think he took a big-time page out of Mr. Billingsley's book from last night.
Again, I know we're gushing a little bit, but he's earning it. The ability in your 3rd major league start to change speeds on your curveball doesn't happen, folks.
Not too often.
This homestand, 26 hits for Arizona, 8 of them extra bases, and that's a departure from early in the season. Chad Billingsley looks on. The man from Defiance, Ohio, watching a young man who pitched at Miami, Ohio University. And I would imagine very proudly. He missed his spot, and that one's belted to center field. Kemp going back. He's got room. They wanted it up, but they got away with it. And the Diamondbacks still trail it, still being shut out.
Jody going in the pool.
Welcome back to the pool here at Chase Field. We go to the top of the 7th, 3-0. Dodgers leading the Diamondbacks. Jody Jackson alongside Jack Magruder, veteran beat writer for the Diamondbacks since they started in 1998. And Jack, you're going to be hosting a web chat tomorrow.
Web chat tomorrow. Talk about anything we want to talk about. The bullpen, the rotation, which has pitched well. Their offense is leading the National League in home runs. You know, I'm up for anything.
6:15 is when it's going to start, so fans, get your questions ready for Jack. And Jack, you had a chance to talk to Josh Burns before today's game. What was on the top of his mind today?
Well, you know, like everybody else, he's kind of talking about the bullpen, and it's a bit of a sore subject right now, but he thinks, like a lot of people do, that these guys are good pitchers. They just are off to a slow start, and that things will turn around. At the same time, you know, they're weighing their options. They're talking about trades. They're talking about bringing up a kid like Carlos Rosa from AAA, you know, just see how it plays out.
And then, as you mentioned, too, the starting rotation, though, has been a pleasant surprise for this group.
It's been a nice group. Ian Kennedy has looked great. Rodrigo Lopez has kept him in a lot of ball games. You know, Danny Haren's going to be Danny Haren, so I think that is a pleasant surprise. It's just they haven't been able to hold a lot of those leads.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack. Jack's going to get back to work. Of course, Jack Magruder posting a story before every game, so the latest from batting practice, and then after every game, and he will be chatting with the fans tomorrow from 6:15 on at foxsportsarizona.com.
Thank you, guys. 2-1 to count. Russell Martin against Dan Haren.
Oh, that one got him right in the ribs.
Up and in, and he drilled it. Spun off there, overthrew a fastball, and Martin hit hard. He had struck out, he had singled, he had grounded out. Now he's a leadoff base runner.
Right, smack dab in the rib cage. That hurts. Looks like it was more of a glancing blow than anything. He'll be just fine.
And obviously there, he missed his spot. He didn't hit his spot, he missed his spot, because Martin has not done anything in his career against Dan. The 1 for 3 tonight, put it together, is a 4 for 29 in his career against Dan Haren. So that's the last thing he wanted to do, especially with the likes of Kemp, Ethier, and Ramirez now waiting. Here's Matt. Pitches outside. That was pitch number 97 from Danny. A cut fastball at 85 miles an hour. Russell this year with just 1 stolen base. That isn't always the case for Russell Martin.
Now, a lot of times when you get drilled and you have been a base stealer in your career, first thing you like to do is steal second base and try to score a run. Well, you're going to drill me, huh? Well, I'll take my base and steal second on you.
Three to nothing the score. 1-0 the count to Matt Kemp. And again for Matt, it's hard to find a situation where he struggles. Think about those stolen bases for Martin. He, a couple of years ago, stole 21. He stole an 18, stolen 11. That's as a catcher. Cut fastball is a strike. Next pitch will be his 100th. Broke his bat. It's a ground ball to short. There's one. Gotta hurry. Not in time. And I'll tell you what, a good hard slide. You knew it was coming from Russell Martin. He delivered. It was clean, but he delivered.
It's just good hard baseball. Coming in, trying to break it up. He did just that.
Kelly got out of the way nicely, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's just playing the game. Kemp just runs way too well.
So high fives all around, as you said, for playing the game the right way. That's another guy that certainly could be off to the races. He's had an interesting tour of the base pads this year. 4 stolen bases. He's been caught 7 times. There's a lot of his game that you would still, with regard to Matt Kemp, call raw.
Oh, sure.
Defense, base stealing.
Yeah, he's a fast base runner, but he's not a good base stealer yet. Which tells me he's still learning how to get good jumps.
Drives him back to the bag.
And a lot of times, Darren, also, if you get picked off a couple of times, those goes as caught stealing. So maybe he's been picked off a couple of times as well.
Yeah, you're right. If you get picked off and you're on your way to second, and they throw that ball, you're exactly right. What beat him with a fastball in. That was an awkward swing, and you haven't seen many of those for about a month from Andre Ethier.
Well, there's an old trick, and Andre Ethier struck out his first 2 times up. He probably doesn't want the hat trick, probably doesn't want that third one. So what's he do his third at bat? Swings at the very first pitch and taps out to the third baseman. And you can see he's taking some awkward swings, not those aggressive, locked-in swings. Those are like, I'm just dying to make contact and to not get the hat trick.
It's funny how things work when guys are hot, guys are not. How do they handle it? What starts a slump? Can a pitcher himself start a slump? Can you become too defensive? There was a conversation today between Casey Blake and Manny Ramirez inside the locker room, and another awkward swing in which Blake hollered across to Manny, "How many cuts did you take?" And Manny Ramirez looked him right in the eye and said, "I only took about 15 cuts in the cage today." And Blake stepped back and paused and said, "It's a good idea, Manny. You wouldn't want to hit yourself into a slump. You wouldn't want to spend too much time in the cage." And as we watch Ethier try and shake it off, you never know what sends you north or south specifically, or everybody would be doing it and avoiding it. 0-2 the count.
That's pretty well said. And you can just see he's taking some awkward swings, some very protective swings. He's trying to protect the plate right now. Great jump there from Kemp. That one was on Dan Haren. I mean, very well done.
5 stolen bases, 7 caught stealing still, but number 5, he stole 34 a year ago.
Well, that is just raw speed.
He'll get 30 again.
No doubt.
The 1-2.
Another protective swing right there. That's not his, I'm going to drive this ball out of the ballpark or drive it in the gap. That's just protecting the plate. And you know what? That's a good job of protecting the plate. Foul it off, stay alive, you might get the mistake you want. It was so imperative that Dan Haren put up a goose egg in this inning. You fall behind more than 3, that might be too much to overcome with 3 at-bats left.
Down ball, fair ball. Out front, nice easy swing at that baseball, and he just got it done again. Unbelievable. Awkward swings, protecting the plate. Doesn't look right. Is he going into a slump? No.
Right off the first base bag, I believe. Looked like a cut fastball. Right off the bag. Just a terrific, terrific hitter, Andre Ethier. Just another protective swing. But that time he was able to keep that one fair. Very impressive.
18 for 36 now this year with runners in scoring position. Four to nothing, the Dodgers lead it. 0-1 the count. Waves over the top of a slow curveball.
Back-to-back breaking balls to jump ahead of Manny Ramirez, 0-2.
1-2 the count to Ramirez. That's unbelievable, too. The successes he has had. I mean, this is a perennial all-star pitcher. And he takes that pitch.
Able to lay off that one as well. Somehow, some way, he's able to lay off of it. Try to get the mistake he's looking for, just the way Andre Ethier did.
Ethier, with the score 4-0, is in scoring position. Pitch is outside. He takes another one. And we talk about how balanced he is and in perfect position when he gets hits. The same thing applies when he takes pitches.
Sluggers usually don't have the ability to lay off those type of pitches. They're usually swinging really hard and they've made up their mind. Not Ramirez. He lets the ball travel and finds it. Swats that one foul. Boy, they are really making Dan Haren work. This is a crew of professional hitters the Dodgers run up there.
And here's the thing when you watch Manny Ramirez hit, and you're right on the money, by the way, really grinding him now at 112 pitches. His power numbers may go down because of what happened last year and because he's getting older. But I think as long as he wants to hit,
he will.
And get hits and play, well, it won't make the money he was making. But because of this approach, he will.
He took a pretty good rip at that fastball here and decided. But you're right, Darren.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, he could probably hit 300 for a couple more years, and hit 15 or 20 home runs instead of 35 or 40
if even that.
Runs.
Yeah,
right.
if even that. But all these times we've seen him, even in this series, just find holes, shoot line drives. That's what you were just talking about there. Last 2 innings.
And that's really at least 15 of those seem to have been to Ethier and Ramirez.
Ball 4.
Makes you wonder just how much longer AJ is going to stay with Dan Haren. I think we've gotten our answer.
So a walk he didn't want to have to make. He was hoping his offense would arrive this evening and get something done. And Danny was hoping he could maybe pitch a little bit deeper into this game. He's not going to be able to. The Dodgers got to him. And that was the first walk of the ball game for Dan Haren. We'll step aside. That is helping the community. This month we recognize Building Safer Communities, where Silent Witness and Valley Police agencies team up to keep our streets safer. See how you can help. Check out www.buildingsafercommunities.com.
Who are here with the 12th annual D-backs Inner City Jam.
Aaron Heilman goes to work and is piecing together some better appearances of late. Had some blips on the radar screen, no doubt about it, but Heilman trying to keep it right here. Good sinker, good changeup. That's really the key. Let that changeup up, and it's popped up to Connor Jackson. Jackson puts it away for the second out of the inning.
That was, I thought that might have been the fastball. It was the changeup. It was up and one pitch, one out. You have to love that if you're Aaron Heilman. Starting to throw the ball a little bit better, but he's got one more big out to go to keep this thing within Grand Slam distance.
Here's Casey Blake. Goes back to a changeup. That one's over the outside corner. Heilman on April 23rd gave up a run against the Philadelphia Phillies, having his ERA jump to 7.71. Since then, in his last 7 appearances, he hasn't given up anything. An ERA of 0 in his last 7 outings. And when they talked about him, it was very simple. He just wasn't attacking. Stuff's too good to nibble. And once he bought back in, he has been one of the brighter spots in the bullpen. That needs more.
Yeah, there needs to be a few more stars out there.
You throw your changeup for a strike. That 93 looks awfully good, doesn't it?
That looks really good, especially right in on the hands of Casey Blake. Jump ahead 1 and 2. Now he's got him guessing.
Reynolds, Drew, Young due up for Arizona, trying to get things going in the bottom of the 7th as the folks here will stand up and stretch them out. 7th inning stretch time. Todd and Joe will join us as well after this break. The 1-2. Bouncing ball right to Drew. Inning comes to an end, but another huge run.
Party with Joe Borowski coming up on Quest Diamondbacks Live, the postgame show. Joe, Dan Haren on a roll. Dialed in early, 9 strikeouts through 3, but it came at a price. Do you think?
Todd, everyone loves the strikeout, but it could be a double-edged sword. You run up a high pitch count early, and you exert a lot of energy.
All right, we'll talk about that in the postgame show and so much more. But first, Joe, I think the bottom line is we got to go to the text poll. And I know I don't have to worry. But you're now you're under the Mario Mendoza line.
I love it.
10,000 votes have come in and hardly any for you or me.
There's no way I have to worry about going in that
you're
pool.
not going in the pool.
I don't have to worry about a recount.
Looks like it's Jody.
Jody has crept ahead, Mark Grace.
No, the voting goes on till the end of the post-game show, so we're not worried.
Very smart, bright people out there voting Jody into the pool. I love it.
The write-in ballots could be the key here, Darren. That's really what sways elections now that are this close.
Check the hanging chads.
This could go to a recount, though, if it's within 1%,
That's
right?
very true.
Is that how that works?
So we roll into the bottom of the 7th inning, seeking your votes for who you want to vote for, but more importantly for the Diamondbacks, seeking some offense, any kind of offense against John Eli. Eli has been impressive, to say the least. He has done things of a pitcher well beyond his years, at least with experience. He's 23. In 2 days, he'll be 24. Changing speeds off of his curveball, pitching in when he needs to, showing good command. I mean,
not walking anybody.
This is real stuff. And you tip your cap to him to this point.
3-1 here to lead off the inning on Mark Reynolds. He's had a couple of 3-ball counts, but you know, Dan, no problem. I'll just come right after you, see what happens. Fastball right on the outside corner. It's good stuff. That's polish.
And he's doing it at 87 to 89. 87 to 89 is where he has been. Reynolds, sinking line drive out into shallow center field, and Mark with the base hit. Well, here in the 7th inning, with this bullpen that is pieced back together for the Dodgers now. Belisario and Quo back, Roxton ready to roll. You better get a couple now.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it right now. Dodger bullpen already starting to get to work.
And that pen is riding the ship and doing good work as that changeup is high. The Dodger bullpen in their last 60-plus innings, an ERA of about 3.5. They started the year getting rocked, an ERA over 6 for the first 2.5 weeks of the season. And Rick Honeycutt will pay a visit.
.102 pitches for Eli. And I would imagine Rick Honeycutt thinking, well, yeah, he's probably starting to go on fumes a little bit, starting to get a little weary.
Well, he made 116 in his Major League debut. He made 108 in that last start against Milwaukee. He did all that work in 6 inning outings that time.
I love the fact that the Dodgers, Joe Torre, man, he's up here to be a starting pitcher. Go ahead and have him throw 110 pitches, something like that, as Jeff Weaver gets loose for the Dodgers. So what's he do? Just challenges Stephen Drew with a fastball and evens the count.
Well,
there's no back off in this kid, and I like that.
One and one the count from Eli. 23-year-old right-hander out of Harvey, Illinois. The pitch is high. He joined us. We told you he led the Southern League in wins last year. He was in AA Birmingham. He won 14 games last season. He was traded December 18th to the Dodgers in the Juan Pierre deal. Steven puts it on the ground, back-to-back base hits. Drew, the one guy you know you can count on consistently against any Dodgers pitcher in his career against LA, a 360 hitter.
Oh, fastball in. Steven just cuts it off and pulls it through that hole. And that's what you need. You need base runners. It just makes you wonder how much longer Joe Torre is going to stay, and there's our answer. That has been it. But what an amazing job by the youngster, Eli. Goodness.
Our APS Energy All-Star. How about that?
I think we all tip our cap to this young man. He was brilliant. He did himself proud again, and I can guarantee he earned himself another start, Darren Sutton.
And the folks in Oxford, Ohio are standing and cheering. That's our boy, they say at Miami of Ohio. The Dodgers, they say, we've claimed him as ours now. Proud of him on the south side of Chicago. Handshakes from the LA men inside of that dugout. John Eli certainly did himself proud. He's 23 years old. He'll be 24 here in a couple of days. And he gives way to a guy, well, a couple of years old. 33-year-old veteran out of Northridge, California. Pitched at Fresno. Has been at it for a long time. Had some back problems that sent him to the DL earlier this year. Veteran right-hander Jeff Weaver, now a relief pitcher in the big league.
Been around a while now. It seems like he's been around forever, but only 33 years old. Boy, he was a star with the Tigers. One of those guys that just didn't cut it in New York, did he? He was a Yankee. There's some rally caps, Darren. Come on.
That's what I like to see. Had a couple of tough years in New York, as you mentioned, in 02 and 03. Goes to work against Chris Young. Just in case, a little look back. And you look down this Dodgers and the pitchers on their staff, and this is their winningest pitcher career-wise right here on the mound. Picked up his 100th win the other day. Outside. I want to remind all of you that there's nothing wrong with getting the 6 runs. Obviously, for the Diamondbacks, it would be very good news. But would also mean anytime this club scores 6 or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day at participating locations. The 1-0. Good pitch over the outside.
Got that late movement right back over the outside corner. Good pitch.
Remind us of his stuff when he was brand new to the big leagues.
Yeah, he threw hard. He threw in the low to mid 90s with that same type of run. You know, always kind of threw across his body, 3/4.
Hot shot, base hit, Chris Young. Reynolds being sent on around. All right. The Diamondbacks really in business now. Nobody out. 4-1. And they're a long ball away from tying this game up. Keep those rally caps on, folks.
Chris Young just rifled that one. I mean, he took a fastball. It came back to the middle of the plate. He just rifled it past Jamie Carroll at shortstop. Once Manny Ramirez stays back on the ball and lets it come to him, Reynolds scoring easily. Those legs starting to look like they're loosening up a little bit for Mark Reynolds. Charged that run to John Eli. Still nobody out. Chris Snyder going to get his opportunity.
George Sherrill warms in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Little hovercraft slider, but it gets him strike 1.
Well, Belisario worked an inning and some change last night. Hung-Chi Kuo worked a solid inning last night, but Hung-Chi Kuo's had a lot of arm history. I would imagine Joe Torre doesn't want to pitch him 2 nights in a row if he can help it.
May not be able to do it with either one of them right now, coming back from injuries. That pitch is low. 1-1 the count to Snyder. Chris 0 for 2. 3 for 26 in the month of May. The 1-1. Hot shot down the line, but he opened up a little bit early out front of it. One ball, 2 strikes to count.
Thermal underwear?
You're making a great point. We love it here in the Valley, don't we, when our nights are cool, but it is sitting out here poolside, calling the game from by the pool. It is it's chilly. It's a nice night. Not like Midwest wind off the lake.
Not quite that cold.
The 1-2. Again, that slider sweeps right through, and Snyder misses it.
So no runners move up. Snyder strikes out.
All right, Rusty Ryle with an opportunity. All he does is, you hope it occurs again, hit just about every time he's called upon.
Well, one thing you know about Rusty, he's not going to get cheated. He likes to pick that first strike and take a whack at it. And he got a breaking ball for strike one. Good pitch there by Weaver.
Not a bad take at all. 0-1 the count to Ryle. Look at that. Tied for the National League lead with 6 pinch hits thus far this year. Hitting over 400, that funky slider. And another hitter comes up empty. He's tied with Delwyn Young in that category.
Well, that's just a pretty slider there from Weaver. And you're just hoping for a mistake. You're going into survival mode here like Andre Ethier and Manny Ramirez did against Dan Haren. And he chased one about 3 feet outside to strike out. So he was just carved up there by the veteran. 3 sliders, 3 strikes.
And now Kelly Johnson, who in his last at bat drove a ball to the track to left.
And now Joe Torre coming to the mound. He's going to go get George Sherrill.
In his career, Johnson better against lefties than he is against righties. It's the move by the book. Maybe this lefty, when called upon, will keep his shoulder locked in and get him going again. We'll see how it works out. Cap on.
I like it.
Boy, what a great picture that is. What a great deal. By the way, we always want you to bring your signs to the ballpark. Vote A for Grace tonight, by the way.
Jody's going in.
Click on the Diamondbacks page on FoxSportsArizona.com. Send in your signs, and we will put them on our website. Very interesting thing. Lefty comes in. It's the move by the book. This year, Kelly Johnson against lefties hits .306 with half of his homers, 5 homers in 36 at-bats against left-handed pitching. Here's Sherrill.
Big swing and miss at a slider there. And Kelly falls behind 0-1.
Been a tough year, as you can see. Kelly went the other way, drove a ball to the track last time up. Lays off. 5 homers in 94 plate appearances against righties this year. 5 in 39 plate appearances against lefties. Breaking ball, driven. Going back as Kempit's down. Chris Young, they're going to send him on around to the plate. The relay from Belliard, not in time. Kelly Johnson gets it done.
Read off the numbers, Jim. It's by the book. But sometimes that book is wrong because sometimes guys like Kelly Johnson, they keep that front shoulder in there nicely. They don't mind hitting breaking balls off left-handers. He gets one and he pounds it into the gap. Kemp does a good job of cutting it off, but Chris Young just runs way too well. Bo Porter sending him all the way. Huge hit for Kelly Johnson. He needed that, Darren Sutton.
Yeah, you bet he needed it. He knew the managers was going to get a left-hander to get him out. He knew it, he saw it, and he answered. Ramon Ortiz is coming on out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. The B squad out of the Dodgers pen tonight. The Diamondbacks had better capitalize.
Now batting left fielder, John Jackson.
The move was by the book. Certainly not by the numbers. It was by the book. And Kelly Johnson had been struggling mightily. Probably a little bit insulted by that decision. It got him locked in, you said it, got that shoulder curled in, kept it in. Now Connor Jackson a chance to tie this game up. Ramon Ortiz misses away. This now is the Dodgers bullpen we saw in Los Angeles, the one without Belisario and Quo.
And Joe Torre had to use Belisario and Quo last night. So I would imagine they're only available in an emergency. And so far, it hadn't been an emergency. Ortiz pours a slider right on the outside corner. Good pitch.
Torre and Honeycutt using the bullets they have in their gun right now.
But what a big two-out hit from Johnson.
The 1-1. It dives low, 2-1 the count. Connor tonight, 0 for 3. Well, these are the situations where those patient at bats, the lack of strikeouts, you hope they pay off and pay off mightily. Connor Jackson on the ground, gobbling it up out there at short is Carroll. But the Diamondbacks, we said, needed to score 2 in this inning. They actually scored 3. Don't go anywhere now. Swimming right along, these Diamondbacks, thanks to the speed and the bat of that man. Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Grab your bag. It is on when you visit Southwest.com. And by Quest. High-speed internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. We are back poolside at Chase Field. Todd Walsh is also over there. Todd, what do you have for us?
Well, I have, part of the bloodline of the Grace family. Mark, this is your son, right?
Is that Jackson Grace?
Jackson Grace joins me now. Jackson, first of all, I heard you hit an inside the park home run today in a playoff game. Is that true?
Yes.
First pitch swinging?
Yep.
Sitting red, blood red, dead red on the fastball, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Listen, we see that you're in the pool here tonight. The text poll goes on. Do you think your father should be in the pool swimming with you, right?
Yes.
And you encourage all the people through that camera right there in front of you to vote for Mark Grace to be thrown in the pool?
Yes.
Nice job. Here's $1. Go buy yourself something and enjoy yourselves. So that's how this works.
You know what?
Oh wait, Darren's got some more. And that looks like double digits.
That
and crooked
is
numbers.
That is his mom's child.
There we go. Get that voting going.
And you gave him $1 too.
Oh yeah. Oh, we don't screw around here. This is the real deal. We're talking crooked elections.
Nice job, Jackson. You're grounded.
By the way, guys, as soon as I can get the details, on a serious note, the Glendale City Council has voted on the resolution regarding the Phoenix Coyotes. It was a unanimous vote. I'll let you know as soon as I can get the details on exactly what transpired, but I believe there's some happy people in Coyote land right now. I'll try and break that down for you.
Outstanding news.
Thank you. We look forward to that. Stay tuned. We'll hear that on the postgame, as well as Gracie going in the pool. Gutierrez, the 1-2. Pop that one up. Justin's got a ways to go. He's tracking, and Justin Upton is there. Let me tell you what I'm reminded of when I sit out here, Gracie, and watch the game. And in specifics, that play right there. Justin, he'll tell you it was an easy play. But when you sit closer, and we all need to do this as broadcasters at least once or twice a year, you're reminded how fast this game is.
Oh, man, you're reminded just how far Justin Upton had to go to get to that ball. And just how far these center fielders have to range to their right and to their left to get these balls. And then you realize just how good these players are.
There's no doubt about it. We sit in a very comfortable seat. It's perfect up above for looking down and calling the action for you at home. As you see the numbers for Gutierrez, a solid outing would be so important.
They got to keep the Dodgers at bay. You can't give up any more late runs. Diamondbacks got 3. Now it's Gutierrez's turn to put up a goose egg. Nice job by Aaron Heilman filling in for Dan Haren, getting a couple of quick outs, giving his offense a chance.
These situations, you are like a setup man. We say it over and over again. Especially, and I think even more so tonight, it's not as if the club's been quiet and they're hoping to get going. They are going now offensively, and the B squad bullpen has been pitching.
That's exactly right. And you got one big chance in the 8th inning. Then you're going to go back to the A squad and Jonathan Broxton if you come up short in the 8th. But you can also talk. You can talk about all you want, B squad and all that. But if the Diamondbacks bullpen doesn't take care of business, well, it doesn't really matter.
There we go. 3-2 the count, pours it in there. Ramon Troncoso is warming in the pen.
We saw him last evening.
It's been walks. That's been one of the big issues for this pen this year. So 1-3-2. He goes right after. Gets him the hit. Wasn't going to walk him. You may want a better pitch than that, but don't mind the fact that you didn't start things, at least for this club, with a walk. 1 away after Belliard popped out.
Right back where it came from. Bang. And a 1-out base run.
So Troncoso will come into this ball game as Garrett Anderson goes to work. RBI single this past Wednesday for Garrett, snapping an 0 for 17. As He's one of 91 players in the history of the game with 2,500 or more hits. And there isn't a column in the Angels offensive record book that he doesn't stand atop. It's been a tough go for him this year, though.
When you've never been a bench player, it's not easy to all of a sudden find yourself playing once every 10 days or so, and then the other days coming in this situation where you've been sitting around for 2.5 hours and expect a base hit. It's just you've never done it before, and then all of a sudden you're expected to just be the next Lenny Harris. Well, it's tough to do. And I speak from experience, Darren, because I stunk at it my last year in the big leagues.
You've done something one way your whole career. Ryle is adjusting, maybe a little bit younger. But your whole career, Gracie, you, Garrett Anderson, you guys got ready to play 150 to 162 games, period.
That's exactly right. And then when you get, a couple of 3 at-bats a week, well, what a change that is.
He got something done, though. Dropped the hammer on it. So Garrett Anderson with a base hit.
And see, Darren, this is a situation now where Juan Gutierrez, he got the first guy out, and then the next 2 hitters have gotten base hits. Now, you sit there and say, well, he didn't want to walk them. Yeah, you're right. But what he did was fall behind both Jamie Carroll 3-1 and Garrett Anderson 2-0. Well, you're a lot easier to hit when you just become a fastball pitcher. Because he's fallen behind, he can't use his off-speed stuff. Hence, you're going to get hit hard. So, yeah, the next day you'll say, well, he wasn't wild. Well, yeah, he kind of was. And that's why he gave up the hits.
Lifted down the line it goes. Russell Martin came with his bat ready to hack. And again, with the club creeping back into the ball game, a 0 is the only option here.
No question.
You're going to have Troncoso coming in and then Broxton.
Because that is such a deflating feeling for an offense when you go out and you get 3, you get right back in the ball game, and then you go back out on the field and give 1 or 2 up. That just deflates a ball club.
In his 7 innings of work here at home, he's only given up 1 run. On the road, Gutierrez 6 1/3 innings, 9 earned runs. So let's keep things clean here at home. As time is called.
Out here in Uptown there. They're fired up, trying to get behind Juan Gutierrez and the D-backs. And A.J. Hinch. Looking for that first win of the homestand. Oh, that's a good pitch. Didn't get it.
A lot of you have dropped us emails on FoxSportsArizona.com. Continue to do so. First this.
That was off the plate, according to Fox Tracks.
2-1 the count.
Gas right by him upstairs. Snyder wants it away. He goes up and in, but he gets it right by Russell Martin with a big, mighty rip.
A lot of you have wondered what the J on the back of the J Martin is instead of an R for Russell. Russell Nathan Coltrane Jeanson, to honor Mom Martin, is his full given name. Full given name, born in Canada. The J for Jeanson. The 2-2. High pop and into the seats it'll go. 18 pitches thrown. Plenty of velocity. Two and two the count. He's got a fastball. He's got a curveball, which is a distant third pitch, and a slider. Fastball, slider. Trying to regain some confidence out of that pen. The 2-2. Fastball belted deep and down the line it goes. That one is out of here.
And another sad inning for a Diamondback reliever.
Bullpen that came in with an ERA of 7.09. The highest in the game. By more than a run and a half.
Oh, and it just took a big spike as well. Now so much for the B squad that the Diamondbacks are facing, because, well, unfortunately, they just went right back out and gave up 3 of their own.
That one's crushed. Going back on it is Young. He's got rope underneath the balcony. Hitters against Gutierrez, and he has a wonderful arm and a good slider, but really, really comfortable in the box. Here's Andre Ethier. (7-3) the score. The Dodgers lead it. The Diamondbacks had scored 3 runs in attempting to march back into this game in the 7th inning. They had knocked young Jason Eli out of the game, and they got Mr. Sherrill as Kelly Johnson drove a ball and drove in a pair, and all of a sudden it looked very interesting.
Just what a deflating feeling.
Outside, and 3-0 the count. So all 3 runs that scored essentially disappear. 3-0. 3-1 the count to Ethier. The Angels have a bullpen ERA of 5.42 in the American League. That's the highest in the American League. That's the 2nd highest in baseball. As Ethier goes the other way, what a pretty piece of footing. Bases on around. Connor sticks a bit in the dirt. So Kemp, he flies out deep, and then Ethier with a double. And Ethier back-to-back doubles. It didn't take him long to feel good about himself again.
How are we looking?
I tell you, the hardest part is watching that guy who pieced together a solid second half in Gutierrez and a great spring training struggle this mightily with that stuff. 7-3 the score. Flashing back and doing so all the way to 1998. Mark Grace into the pool for the second time. And very good stuff.
Amari Telemaco.
Terrible hats, by the way, with all due respect.
Brutal.
Manny Ramirez, Daniel Stang. This has got to be a little bit daunting for the young reliever. One young man with an opportunity because of injuries and struggles. And you got to think with the struggles this pen is going through, there may be more opportunities for young Diamondbacks in the minor leagues.
I don't think that's unfair to say at all, Darren.
We'll see if they're able to seize the opportunity. It's certainly not how anyone designed it. It's not equal to the abilities. The numbers don't equal the abilities, is what you know about this bullpen. But for guys like that man and his mates, it's been such a tough go of it. We'll have to watch closely.
Yeah, you just think that eventually you just can't, at the end of the day, you just cannot allow, or you just wonder how much longer, these guys can just get their brains beat in like they've been getting.
2-1 the count. Young man out of UC Riverside, Daniel Stang. The slider stays a little bit high. I think he crossed him up there because Chris said, come on now, follow me there. And Chris reached for that slider. The 3-1. You're not going to get, unfortunately for the young pitcher, any part of the corner with Manny Ramirez hitting, especially with your lack of service time and his Hall of Fame caliber career. And so now James Loney.
And guys like Ethier, Loney, they're going to get opportunities against right-handed pitchers in this series. Diamondbacks do not have a left-handed reliever. And when you're swinging the bats as well as Loney and Ethier, boy, look out.
Loney tonight has doubled, has singled, scored a run on the double by Casey Blake back in the fourth inning. There were 3 doubles in a row. He has struck out and flied out to left field. Stang, the Diamondbacks' 7th round pick in the 06 draft. As that one misses away, 2-0 the count. Good sinker, good slider. But right now, probably in a way tough watching all the guys with much more service time struggle with their confidence. So now he has to come on in. Let's see what he can do. 2-0. Good movement. 2-1 the count. Loney doesn't think so.
And got a fortunate call there from Lance Barksdale.
Well, so far, Mr. Stang, and it's up to him. All quiet down there. Guys watching the game and the back room. The 2-1. Snyder gets that one fouled off the mask.
That'll rattle your cage right there. Snyder seems to be one of those unfortunate catchers there that just foul tips never missing. He's a tough kid, and he can handle it. But boy, after a while, can't one just miss me once in a while?
How about one sail by me over my shoulder? You're exactly right. He's a big guy, but there's a lot of big guys that are catchers. The 2-2. Hit on the ground and pass through. And so Loney reaches. Ethier scores. And it's 8-3. Los Angeles on top of Arizona.
I don't really know what happened there with Stephen Drew. Just never got the glove down.
Got a base hit.
Looks like that's what they gave it. But these long innings, boy, if fielders can get on their heels and balls will get past them sometimes. But Stephen Drew will be the first to tell you that he's going to make that play more often than not.
1-1 the count. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. Slider is outside. Stang made his major league debut on this last road trip in Chicago. Went a scoreless inning, and then his last couple of outings has actually been scored upon. Another one in Chicago, then against Milwaukee. Went 2 innings, gave up a run. Two and two the count to Casey Blake. 3 times in his career, Blake has hit 20 or more homers. 2 times he's gone over 80 RBIs. Toronto, Minnesota, Baltimore, and then to the National League in Los Angeles. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2 the count. Blake, the 9th Dodger to hit this inning. Well, I believe all 9 spots in the order for the Dodgers have put in at least 1 hit. The only one that hasn't scored is Ronnie Belliard.
He's driven them in. He just hadn't scored yet.
A couple of times. Ball 4.
Mercy.
So the bases are loaded now, and the lineup turns over. And it turns over to Ron Belliard. And a visit to the mound, Mel Stottlemyre Jr. Guys come out, bullpen phone rings. Guys come out. And a single soul down there earlier. At least out on the hill. Boyer will start to toss.
I would imagine there's probably some verbal darts being thrown their way down there, so they just stay away from it. Can't say I blame them. I don't know. Can't say I blame the fans either.
1-0 the count to Ronnie. Out of the Dominican Republic, grew up in the Brewers organization. Two and 0. Only so much that man can do. He can't go out there and pitch. Counsel. Talk about mechanics. You can't throw a bullpen when you're in the bullpen. When you're about to pitch that night, you can't go down and throw a 30-40 pitch bullpen session to work on things. So the pitching coach, there's only so much he can do. At some point, you're either able to do it or you're not. That's why this is the highest level of the game. And it sounds like you're lacking compassion in this situation, but there's only so much that man can do.
That's the guy on the mound. The guys on the mound.
3-1, ball 4.
Yeah, this is hard to watch.
Manny had gone back to the bag. Larry Boa said, you can come on down. That is 9 bases loaded walks this year for the Diamondbacks pitching staff, more than any team in Major League Baseball. (9-3) the score. 0-1 the count to Jamie Carroll. (2) the count to Carroll as he paints the outside. Monasterios joins Troncoso in the bullpen. The 0-2. Sliced and into the seats it goes. Let it stick with a nice job there. Young fan gets himself a souvenir. Slider is away, 1-2 the count. Series wraps up tomorrow then for the Diamondbacks. It's on the road to Atlanta and then to Florida. The Dodgers go on to San Diego. Take on those treacherous San Diego Padres.
And that good pitching staff.
Bouncing ball on the ground into center field. Couple more runs will score. And the Dodgers now lead it very comfortably this evening by a score of 11-3. A 7-run outburst on this bullpen. That's the great thing about going to the ballpark. The kids are having fun, no matter the score. They're having fun in the hot tub. It's cool out here, and it's good to see you folks are dialed in. Keep A. The rest of the night, vote A, vote A, vote A. He's going in.
Oh, come on, Jody.
Good news, good news.
No,
Diamondbacks fans, listen to me, the one you voted in last year.
Nope, don't listen to him.
Good to see you guys are coming around. Look, they're listening to your son. They're listening to your son. They love your little boy, Gracie.
Jackson was bribed.
So Blaine Boyer goes to work against Garrett Anderson. Here in the 8th inning.
Boy, what a disastrous top of the 8th it has been after the Diamondbacks got 3 to climb within to a 4-3 ball game, and it just unfortunately has just come unraveled here in the top of the 8th.
For the Diamondbacks this year, the tough part of the story, and obviously they have been a little more quiet offensively the last 5 or 6 days. Had a good year offensively as a whole. But it's been late in ball games. It's just been tough whether they had the lead or they're creeping back in. In the 8th and 9th innings combined, it's been opponents of the Diamondbacks 53, Diamondbacks 19.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
The 2-1. Garrett hits it on the ground. The inning comes to an end. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Boy, a big blow up and a tough inning in the 8th inning. 11-3. The Dodgers now lead it. And certainly a tough night to talk baseball. Let's bring in Todd Walsh. Todd, what do you have for us? What are we talking about?
Well, guys, it's just ironic. I think back to last May when we were at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles talking about the Coyotes and Jerry Moyes filing for bankruptcy. Tonight, the vote in the Glendale City Council, I understand it was a unanimous vote. The council voting to approve the $25 million escrow account, which will cover potential losses for the Phoenix Coyotes if an ownership deal doesn't come to fruition. That's how I understand that. But I'll tell you what the Deputy Commissioner of the National Hockey League said to the City Council earlier tonight when we talk about that on D-Backs Live, the post-game show, an impassioned speech, and some of his comments to reporters afterwards about the fate of the Coyotes. He says they're staying in Phoenix, so we'll have more on that, as well as who we're throwing into the pool at the conclusion of the post-game show. So plenty of reasons to stick around, and we'll also talk about the bullpen woes, as you might imagine.
Todd, thank you. Look forward to that, and look forward to hearing more. I mean,
that's great news. We need a little great news.
We watched very closely as this city embraced its hockey team as they played an incredible series against the Detroit Red Wings, and you and I talked about it. We were working, so it was tough to get out there. But had a chance to sneak over, watch a Blackhawks game and see their opener against the Canucks. And I told you on the air in Chicago, it hit home to me just what I had missed here in Phoenix.
Oh, man.
And so congratulations. A lot of folks on our crew, that's their livelihood.
Huge.
Get a chance to go out and work, cover all those games. Justin Upton fouls that one off, so that excites us more than anything.
Russell Martin made the play.
How about that? All the way back up against that screen. Russell Martin puts that one away. So now Adam LaRoche against Carlos Hernandez Monasterios. Young man out of Miranda in Venezuela. One and one the count. Monasterios signed by the New York Yankees as a free agent. That one lifted and kept out in front of us. He calls for it, he camps, and he makes the play for the out. Boy, so many great dates available. June 11th, July 4th against the Dodgers. July 6th, the Cubs, the Rockies, and then the Dodgers again. If you buy it up on July the 4th.
It's great out here. It is great out here.
Gracie and I will come out and have a pregame meal with you on July the 4th. If you donate it to men and women who serve our country, we'll call the game out here with you. We'll come hang out with you. You do that as that one is hit on the ground. 1, 2, 3, go the Diamondbacks. Remember to vote A, 36929. Gracie's fanny into that pool.
Jody!
And what's brewing? Kuroda against Jackson. And hopefully Edwin able to take another step forward. Had a tough road trip, pitched much better against the Milwaukee Brewers. And then it's out of here, out of town to Atlanta, GA to take on Bobby Cox and the Atlanta Braves. But tomorrow we'll have it for you. Just a boring old broadcast from the booth. And we'll be there as we broadcast out here from the pool. Blaine Boyer goes to work. 16 hits for the Dodgers, 8 for the Diamondbacks. Also, Martin puts that one on the ground. LaRoche, a nice play. It's dropped.
And unfortunately for the bullpen, even when you get the out, you find a way to, unfortunately, a perfect throw. Here's Blaine Boyer, whiffs it. That'll go as an error on Blaine Boyer, I'm sure.
It does. That's the ruling.
Boy, talk about a snowball.
It's a very good way to describe it. I talk about hitting being contagious and great pitching, aggressive base running, solid defense. Seems right now, and again with arms that throw 93 and sliders that are wicked, and the stuff being there, seems like confidence eroding is contagious, unfortunately. And they're just not even close to reaching their potentials right now. 1-1 the count. Again, after that tough big 8th inning, the bullpen ERA went up to 7.63 on this season.
That's got to be almost 2.5 runs higher than the next one down.
It's about 2.2. You use decimal points. So you're pretty close, unfortunately. The distance between the Angels and the Diamondbacks in that highest bullpen ERA is the Tigers' bullpen ERA, 2.2. Fastball, 2-2 the count. But we're out here by the pool.
And it's been fabulous out here.
And that part we love. We love this ballpark. We love the unique nature of having a pool at this ballpark. I'm still kind of the new kid on the block, so I'm enjoying it. And you're going in, which is very exciting.
But we've had Todd Walsh out here, Joe Borowski out here. Jody Jackson's been out here. She'll be going in the pool.
As long as you continue to vote A at home, you know.
My children have been out here. They're enjoying the pool.
They were saying they just want to swim with Dad.
Yeah.
Just out swimming, ordering some fish for you and Mom and Audrey. Just a swim up waitress.
Oh, ball 4.
Ball 4 to Matt Kemp.
Right fielder, Andre Ethier.
You know, for as gut-wrenching as it is to watch for you guys at home, try being in the dugout and having to watch it like those two fellas. Can't be easy.
We'll see what the conversations are like after the ball game. And we'll listen very closely over the next 24 hours to what this organization wants to do. 0-1 the count to Andre Ethier.
Well, I would imagine standing pat is probably not an option, Darren.
The 0-1. A little chopper through. Johnson on the first. Not in time. Ethier reaches on a fielder's choice with a ground out. Russell Martin moves up to third.
Left fielder, Reed Johnson.
Reed Johnson with a chance to play. He came in defensively for Manny Ramirez. Runners on first and third. Reed goes to swing. Connor Jackson, Chris Young get together. Chris is there to make the play. Tagging and coming on down to score is Russell Martin. So a sac fly and an RBI. And it's 12-3.
First baseman, James Loney.
The Dodgers have scored 19 runs in the last couple of nights and hit just 2 homers. Boy, in St. Louis, the Astros have found a way to manufacture some runs.
They scored a few, huh?
Well, they put together. They were being shut out going into the 7th inning. They put 6 on the board. They beat the St. Louis Cardinals and Brad Penny. Brett Myers got the win. A 6-4 win at Busch. 6-3, that is.
Well, after coming in here just before the Dodgers, the Milwaukee Brewers were here. They swept the Diamondbacks, and they've run into an Atlanta buzzsaw over in Milwaukee since leaving here. Atlanta got them 11-3
And of all people, do you remember Friday night how Carlos Villanueva looked?
Yes.
Waste of fastball, wicked change, breaking ball, very tricky.
It was near perfection.
He went 2/3 of an inning and gave up 4 runs tonight.
Really?
To the Atlanta Braves. Mitch Stetter went 1/3 of an inning and gave up 3 runs. Their bullpen gave up 8 runs in Milwaukee. Line drive, it'll roll all the way up against the wall right below us. Justin will play it. Hit the cutoff man, and a run comes all the way around to score. It's 13-3.
Well, there's a lot of fun being had in that Dodger dugout. And unfortunately, it's at the expense of the Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen. Looks like he's getting a little silent treatment.
I think you're just worn out in there. Here's Casey Blake. Blake hits it on the ground. Who is there? In time for the out. 2 more runs. The Los Angeles Dodgers 13. The Arizona Diamondbacks 3.
Brindley. Oh, baby. Oh, man. Not quite as good as
Jimmy T.
Jimmy T. Oh, look out. Look out, kids.
Wow. Well, hey. Swindell. Big Mac, I made sure this happened. Hey, Big Mac, where you at, pal? See ya.
Oh, Darren, why did you do that to McClune?
Because he's Big Mac, that's why.
That wasn't very nice of you at all, although I thought it was rather big league.
I knew you would.
Well, Augie Ojeda going to get his turn. He promptly whacks it to second base on the ground. 1 quick out. Jody Jackson, I think, is going to be the best ever.
No, it's actually not going to happen tonight, unfortunately.
I think Jody is going to do everybody proud.
For you, I think it's going to be a fun day. You've been here. You've hit, 3-4 balls into the pool as Chad Qualls getting some throwing in down there. Chris Young takes strike 1. Young pops it up. Martin fires the gear away. Throws it all over towards Lance Barksdale. And he makes the play for the out.
Pinch hitting for Chris Snyder, number 28, John Hester.
We saw a moment ago, Gracie, Chad Qualls throwing in the bullpen, I'm guessing just to get work in.
Get a little work in.
Well, Johnny Cueto was very good tonight. A one-hit shutout at the Cincinnati Reds, or for the Reds at the Pirates, 9-0.
John Hester swings and misses. That's strike two. Diamondbacks are down to their final strike on what ended up being an extremely disappointing evening, other than here at the pool.
That one was outside. We appreciate you folks spending this evening with us. We trust your week has been a good one. We just continue on here tonight with our post-game show. Looking forward to Todd's news on the hockey front, as that one is a high fly ball. Tonight the Dodgers continue their domination of the Diamondbacks that started since they acquired that wild and wacky left fielder with the long hair in July 2008. We're staying poolside, though. We're going to crank up the grill. We're going to have a good time. Todd's going to cook. Joe, he's going to continue to mix things up here. Maybe get the blender out. Let's get the blender out for the post-game show now.